Hey, it's Leanne and Simon on Loving Life Now for today's topic. What's today's topic?
I don't know.
Examining the herd or something? Examining the herd.
It is.
There you go. Well, you can talk and welcome everyone. I'm going to do the normal sharing thing.
Awesome. Well,
Cheryl's the winner. She's on first.
as you join us, pop your details in. Let us know you're here. We'd love to welcome you to this evening's Facebook Live. Great topic, examining the herd. Have you ever examined the herd?
No.
No. Well, we're going to do that tonight. We're going to talk about how we examine the herd. So Lee's just doing some sharing. Come on out. Let us know you're here. Pop your details in. Be the first one to comment.
Hi.
Say hello.
He's going to be the winner.
Then we can welcome
Cheryl's
you.
the winner.
Cheryl's the winner.
Again.
Well done. All right. Welcome, Cheryl. Welcome, Cheryl in Sydney. Who else we got out there? Shani from Sydney. Good evening. Welcome from Sydney. Hope it's not too cold down there for you this evening.
Tell us if the quality's all right, because it seems a bit pixelated at my end.
Ah, well.
Are we pixelated at your end?
Peggy
are we
says
clear?
hello
Let us
from
know.
beautiful Frio. Hello, Peggy. Welcome from Fremantle. Annette says good evening from Melbourne. It's cold in Melbourne, I bet. Hi, Annette. Mick Island. G'day, Mick from Burleigh. Gabby Viner. Hello, Gabby from down the road.
Gabby down the road.
Who else have we got joining us? Pop your details in. Let us know you're here. A great topic this evening called Examining the Herd. Cheryl said it's all clear on her end.
Okay, good.
Excellent.
That's just been my end.
All right. Who else we got out there? Julie Murphy. Hello from North Lakes in Brizzy. Hello, Julie. Great to have you here. So, again, if you just joined, pop your details in. Let us know you're here. We'd love to welcome you. Darren Bell says hello from Victoria. G'day, Darren. Mary says good evening from Sydney. Hello, Mary. Who else we got? Sharon Scott. Hello, Sharon from Kevington and Victoria. Bernie is doing backflips in
Mick
Burleigh.
wasn't doing backflips. How
No,
come
Mick
Mick wasn't joining in?
Because it's Bernie doing backflips. Mick does Mickey flips.
Right.
All right, we got Gail says hi all. G'day, Gail. Shani says hi to guys. She's saying hi to everyone else. So pop your details in. Let us know you're here. We'd love to welcome you.
Hey, Ken.
G'day, Ken. Welcome back. Absolutely. Welcome
Right,
to you.
I think I'm sorted.
From in Brisbane. Who else we got out there?
Agatha, hello.
G'day, Agatha. Hello.
All right.
Carolina. We can
all
see
shared.
Carolina's watching. Pop your details in, Carolina. Let us know where
Carrie.
you're streaming in from. We'd love to
What is
welcome
that
you.
noise?
That was my shoes. Kerry's streaming in from
Take your
gorgeous
shoes off. No one can
Mackay.
see them.
Yeah, Mick Island says I catch Bernie. He's doing Mickey flips and she's doing backflips. Robbie said something. Who was
Hey,
Robbie?
Sandy.
It's moving too quick now. Can't see it. Robbie Goddard is watching. G'day, Robbie. Pop your details in. Let us know where you're watching from. Michelle Peel says good evening. Hello, guys. Zandy says hi.
Hey,
Carolina
from
says hello
Germany.
from Germany. Great to
Hey, John.
Great to hear and see you again. Thanks, Carolina. John Pierce. G'day, John. Hi,
David.
guys. David Miller from Adelaide or down in South Australia. Evening, everyone. Dave from South Australia. Excellent. All right.
Right.
Well, let's jump into our topic this evening, Lee. We've had a busy weekend.
Those shoes are annoying me.
Oh,
Can
sorry.
you stop it?
I'm just moving my feet together and they're rubbing.
like-
They're leather, so they're squeaking.
Okay, let's get rid of the shoes or something.
All right. So we had a busy weekend.
We did.
We did.
What did we do?
We went to the boat show on Friday. That was exciting.
Oh my God, the boats.
The so I was going to say Sunshine Coast, the Sanctuary Cove International Boat Show. That was
epic.
That was epic. We didn't even get round half of it, right?
No, we got stuck at one boat for a very long time.
Yeah, and then we decided to give our feet a rest at 4 o'clock with a cold ale, and then it closed at 5. That was the
Couple
end
cold
of it.
ales.
So that was good. We had a great day there. Then we drove up to the Sunshine Coast on Saturday. We went and caught up with Mary and Jean.
We
For
did.
Jean's birthday, so that was lovely. Big happy birthday to Jeannie. Jacinda Henderson said looked amazing. Yeah, absolutely
Carrie said,
was.
did we buy the Bentley?
No, we didn't buy the Bentley.
No.
Certainly, Lee's was sitting. You were sitting in the Aston Martin, which was $425,000
I-
worth of motor vehicle.
I would rather buy a boat.
Yeah, we're like, nah, we wouldn't want to spend that money on
Bernie
a
said,
car.
love your new boat.
That's
Congratulations.
Thanks, Bernie.
Wait till you see it.
All right, so so we had fun over there. Annette said the boats looked amazing. They did indeed.
They were.
Who's that from Canberra? Laura. Hello. Was it
Hi.
Laura?
I think so.
Oh, let me go back.
Yeah, it was Laura.
Yeah, Laura. Laura Lee's in Canberra. Hello.
Elise.
Peggy said amazing, aren't they? They were.
My favourite Aston.
Yeah, the Aston was
It
amazing.
was nice, but I wouldn't
still,
spend that much on it
no,
for a car.
I agree. I agree. I'd rather spend that on a boat. And then, of course, we stayed at the casino on Sunday night. Stayed at the Sunshine Coast on Saturday night.
Yep.
Stayed at the Star Casino on the Gold Coast. Caught up with another friend for a birthday.
Birthdays galore.
Bit of a birthday celebration, so that was nice.
Yes.
And then home yesterday, and then we were out to lunch today at the Sanctuary Cove.
No rest for the weekend.
We're out to lunch for your friend's birthday.
Yeah, another birthday. No, same person. same person. And then Thursday we've got Miss Kirsty coming from Adelaide. We're going out to dinner Friday night. I'm going out with Mel Saturday night.
Yeah.
And then Sunday we've got friends over. So crazy,
Busy week.
crazy.
Busy week.
But it's fun.
And we got lots on in business all around that. So let's talk about examining the herd. What do we do to examine the herd? Well,
We put our glasses on and we look really close.
well, what sort of people are in the herd? Who's in the herd?
The people that like average results, that like to just kind of not be seen, not stand out, just fit in with
Yep.
everyone else.
Yeah, if they like to fit in, they like to model everyone else. They don't like to
The Joneses.
go for their goals or their achievement. They want to just fit in,
Yeah.
right? And be like everyone else. And they want to keep people in the herd, right?
Yes.
And have you had experiences in your life where you've actually could look back at a work environment or a situation where you felt like you were in the herd?
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah.
I did like it.
Yeah, I spent 12 and a half years managing department stores in the retail industry straight out of school, and was one of the was the youngest manager ever to be appointed in Queensland at the time. And, it was a privately owned company, and then it got taken over by a large corporate, and it just became all about the bottom line. They lost focus on the people. It just became about cost cutting, how we can run the stores at a lower cost. And you just felt like you were just part of the herd. You were no longer an individual. You became just part of the herd. Right?
There's been a couple of situations that I felt like I was seriously in a herd. One is when we went to a concert and we were trying to get out.
Yes.
We were literally in the herd,
Like
and you could not go another way. Like you were like, follow. You had to follow. And then when I was in New York and in London, it was the same. Walking down the street, you literally, if you stopped, people would like whack
Tremble
you out
you.
of the way.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you had to just follow the herd in the direction of that everyone was going.
And Ed said she's going through this right now. You know what I'm mentioning about working, and it does. It changes. And then I actually took a stand. I took a stand to break out of the herd, and I remember the GM came down and he took a look at the store, and he stood out the front with me and he said, do you think that this store is up to standard?
And you said no.
I said, well, it's up to standard for what you want to allow me to spend. So, this is the reality. You want me to make it all look pretty because you're here. I'm not going to do that. And he said, well, maybe it's time that you start to look elsewhere. And I went, great. 12 and a half years, you're just a number. I'm like, I'm out of here. All right.
Thanks for the permission.
So I actually took up another role and took holidays, right? And never went back. I actually never went back. I actually got a job, another role with Compaq Computers as a business manager, got accepted the role and went on holidays from the retail and actually never went back. It was the best way to leave.
Yeah.
I just said to them while I was on holidays, I've got another job, and they said, all right, no worries. No need to come back. Great.
I wasn't.
Excellent. So breaking out of the herd, right? It's sometimes you've got to go against the grain to break out of the herd. So what's the purpose of the herd? What is the purpose?
To keep you in the herd.
Purpose of the herd is to keep you in the herd. So it's a bit like and I love the analogy when you see a herd of cattle, right? And one cow wanders off away from the herd. What do the other cows do?
Follow.
They moo. they
do
want the other cow to come back.
No, what's a really great example is that monkey example, where the monkeys and there's the banana, the one where
I don't.
that Shane talks about.
It's not coming to my mind. I know about the gorilla.
Even a better one, crabs in a bucket.
Crabs in a bucket are good.
Okay, you can tell that one.
No, you can tell it. It's your story. You're telling it.
Okay, so I don't know the exact story, but you put one crab in a bucket and I think it just crawls out, doesn't it?
Well, it tries to get out.
Tries to get out.
Tries to get out.
And then you put another crab in the bucket and one tries to get out and the other one pulls it back in.
Yeah.
Right? So, I don't know the whole story.
No, you were going there, but then the more crabs you put in the bucket, the more they try and pull the one back, right?
And they don't let anyone escape.
Don't let anyone escape. And sheep are like that, right? If you've got a herd of sheep and they all stick together, right? They don't wander off. And if they do, they'll call each other back and bring each other back to the herd. It's a bit like when you're about to leave a career path or a business, people say to you, why are you doing that? Oh, that sounds risky. Ooh. I wouldn't do that.
The crabs.
I wouldn't do that. I would, I'd stay where I am if I was you. It's safer. Mm-hmm. So what are those people doing in the workplace? They don't want you to leave. So David said, yep, he'd experienced the herd at the New Year fireworks in Sydney. You did well, Leanne, and telling that story, I think it was. You did well. That is so true, keeping you stuck. Peggy's laughing. Kerry Young says, if a crab tries to get out and the others pull it back, I've had people do that recently.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're funny, apparently.
But it is. It's true when you get to the point of, you've really got to take a stand.
Yeah.
Right? So let's go back to about the herd. So in the herd, they approve of normal and average behaviour.
Yeah.
That's okay, right?
Yeah, as long as you're not outstanding, you're good.
No, and they disapprove of, or they outwardly disapprove of destructive behaviour. Mm-hmm. And they appear to be rebels, but they're not really.
No.
Right? So you'll get some people in a herd that appear to be rebels, and one part of the herd puts rules in place on society, and the other part is committed to breaking the rules. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how they keep people in the herd, because they put rules on society. They want some people to break the rules, but guess where the safe ground is?
In the middle.
In the middle. So the safe ground in the herd is actually in the middle. So the herd looks to ridicule people, they invalidate people, and they do. You know, I had some amazing people in the retail industry that operated from such a bully mentality, like intimidating people. And I'm talking senior management levels, intimidating people in the business. And you know, if you weren't part of the boys club, or you weren't doing part of the cool club, or you know, you were not part of, you know, you weren't going to move forward. You were back with the herd and everyone else. So they were like the rebels in the herd, right?
So Claudia says, I'm definitely not in the herd. That's awesome, Claudia. Hey, Nick.
Okay, Nick.
Madeline's got to go to work, but she will catch the recording. She's got in a herd job.
She's in a herd job. All right. So one thing about the herd is that it can be invalidating to you. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So it can invalidate your thoughts, the way you feel, make you feel inferior. You don't really feel valued.
Yeah.
So that's not a great thing, of course. And if you fight the establishment, guess what? You actually become a part of the establishment. So if you fight against the establishment, you'll actually become a part of the establishment.
Okay.
Because it's all a part of keeping you in the herd, right? It's in with that thinking.
Your family can be a herd.
Now, in the herd, they can, absolutely. Now, in the herd, there is also extremists who are in the herd. And they're a real problem because they can spread fear just because they want to spread fear in others, and they keep people in the herd.
To frighten them from leaving. Yeah,
absolutely. Oh, you don't want to go over there, or, you know, the grass is definitely not greener on the outside. We know. We've been there, done that. It wasn't worth it. We're better off being in a job. I know people who want to get jobs for the council just to play it safe. Like, I want to work for the council.
Well, aren't we all in the herd right now because we're not allowed to leave the country? We're in the country herd.
In a way. All right, so fear is a big thing. And as I said, the middle ground of the herd becomes a safety zone because people play between the extremists and those who are really the rebels of the herd and those who are committed to breaking the rules. Mm-hmm. So they want to play it safe. They want to be in the middle. Yeah. Right?
Zandy says, I'm on my way out of the herd, but I have a few cows pulling my tail to keep me in.
Oh, don't worry, you'll get plenty of tail.
They'll bite your tail too.
They'll hang on.
Maybe you need to get rid of your tail.
No, you know what it is.
And then they can't.
Well, the trick is actually pull them out with you.
Oh, yeah.
Tell them I come with you.
You're not going to let me out? You're coming with me.
That's right. If you want to join me, you're welcome. If you want to hang on to that tail. Following the rules is being in the herd, absolutely. Well, sometimes.
Depends on the rule.
It does, because in society we still have to have
some rules,
right? Otherwise, it'd be unlawful, and we'd have renegades out there, and oh my goodness, we'd be back in the wild, wild west. All right, but there is a way out of the herd, an option to get
tell
out of the
us.
herd. How do
Tell
you
us.
get out of the herd?
I don't know. I need to know.
All right.
I'm not in the herd.
You
then.
certainly don't try and leave with cows pulling at your tail. So how do we get out of the herd? It's called the third road. There's a third road.
Ooh, the road untravelled.
Yeah,
Less
less
travelled.
travelled. The road less travelled. So the third road, the herd often takes sides and pulls you in opposing directions. Right? You get pulled from one direction to the other in the
We're going to
herd.
do corners.
But what you've got to do is you've got to learn to manoeuvre yourself freely amongst the obstacles that you face in the herd. Okay? So Annette says take a stand and back yourself.
There's
Absolutely.
another one here. What about the herd immunity the government is now seeking?
Yes. Well, that is very true. If you want to be a part of the herd, you can go and all get immunisation. Don't get
Let's not talk about
Let's
that
not talk
right
about
now.
that. We won't go there. All right. So no proven track record. We don't know what's going to happen on that. All right.
We're not talking about that.
So you've got to learn to manoeuvre yourself freely amongst the obstacles that you face, right, to get out of the herd. Now there is the road out of the herd. The third road is called. It's where
You know for yourself and you become a leader.
know for yourself and you become a leader. I was staying up at my mum's last night, and God bless her, mum comes out with some ideas that she's heard from other people, right? And maybe they're in the herd.
Parents do that.
And she'll say, "Oh, I wanted to post a parcel to my daughter who lives on the Sunshine Coast." And I said to Mum, "Do you mind popping it in a post box when you're out and about? I'll leave it with you, and that way it's getting posted locally, so it might be quicker." And Mum said, "Oh no, I heard that all postage from the Sunshine Coast goes to Brisbane to get sorted and then comes back to the Sunshine Coast."
Okay.
And I said, "Who did you hear that from?" I said, "Is that true?" She said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "Well, why don't you know for yourself? Like,
Heard from
find
the
out.
herd.
Find out."
Read them and
do you
ask.
really believe that is the case? Because I would think that's pretty bizarre.
It would be.
I think it's pretty bizarre. I would think that we've got a mail delivery centre located on the Sunshine Coast that maybe sorts mail and then it gets delivered. It would seem unrealistic for it to travel all the way to Brisbane, go through a processing centre and then come all the way back. But who knows? That could be true. I don't know.
Does anyone know?
But I
We
just
need to know.
posed the question of, how do you know that's true? Because she said, "I heard." Well, who'd you hear from?
From the herd.
It's like a Chinese whisper, right? At the event that we
Oh,
did,
gosh.
where we did a Chinese whisper that went around the event and the people that did the actions. And what happened?
It was completely different.
Completely wrong.
We didn't even know which one matched which, like it was that different.
Because at the end of the day, how do you know? And we always talk to our kids about this. Our kids will say to us, "Did you know this?" And we're like, "Really? How do you know that? Is that true?" Neo came to me this morning.
They argue with it.
And he said to me, he said, "The most rarest blood type in the world, Dad," he said, "is negative RH. Negative RH."
What's
and I'm
RH?
like, "I've never heard of a blood type called RH, negative RH." He said, "Yep, there's only 45 people in the world that have this rare blood type." And I said, "I've never heard of it." I said, "How do I know that that's true? How do I know there's a blood type called negative RH? You're just telling me. Where do you know that from?" So we had this discussion, and I've Googled it while I'm driving about, what is negative RH, and it actually told me that it was a cell within the blood type, right? But there is people that have got predominant cells, and they actually have to donate blood for themselves because if something happens, they can't get blood.
Right.
So anyway, it's quite again, it's about questioning. So we're getting back to, what are we doing? It's about knowing for yourself.
Uncle Google
knows.
knows.
Exactly. Hi, Sharon. So it's all about
April.
knowing for yourself, being a leader. So if the information that someone tells you don't know to be true, then go look it up.
Google's not always right either. So
Well, it depends what you ask.
Depends.
It depends what you ask. And you've got to seek, you have to seek information from a valid site.
Yeah. Can't just
That'd
be
be a
some
better
random
one. No.
post that someone's
A blog
made.
post.
There is no sorting centre on the Sunshine Coast. Going to Brisbane could happen.
Wow, well, there you go.
There
So
you go.
maybe it
Jacinta.
could.
Thanks.
Best to do the research yourself. We love Google. Absolutely. Or we've got it in the house and if we're not sure and we get some discussion going amongst the kids,
Just not Dr.
which
Google.
often happens, we go and ask and we try and find out the answer because they come out with some stuff that they learned at school and try and tell us. We're like, I don't, never heard of that. Is that surprises? No, probably not.
No.
We probably haven't heard of what they're talking about. All right. So when you know for yourself, you're going to gain authentic respect from others because you're going to have a known knowledge for yourself, and others will respect that. All right.
Great.
So where should you choose? Where should you choose to get out of the herd? Well, you could become wealthy if you get out of the herd. You could also become famous.
That's
imagine that.
Famous.
Imagine that. You could become famous.
I was famous today.
Are you? When?
Because there was a video that a company posted and tagged me in. I went, I feel like I'm famous.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you
My
could
2
become
seconds of fame.
famous. So what do you want? I mean, if you want to get out of the herd, you can become wealthy, you can become successful, you can become a better person, you can actually help others. You can actually inspire others. You can become famous.
And
like,
famous
what's possible?
again,
What's possible for people?
Anything.
But if you stay in the herd, none of that's possible, right? So the third road is the way out, and it leads to a path of success.
Yes.
You've just got to take it. So know for yourself is the third road. It's not a road of conflict, of right or wrong. So it's not that road. You know, we're not going down that road to conflict with others, to prove people wrong or to make our point right. That's not what it's about either. It's a process of staying focused on your purpose. So you've got to be focused on your purpose. So whilst you're in the herd, what's your purpose? Where do you want to go? What do you want to create? Focus on that and go after it. Know for yourself. Take action steps that are going to lead you out of the herd. So as you focus on it, others who have share the same values, what are they going to do, Lee? If they share the same interest, yeah, absolutely. They want to align with you. Because all of a sudden they go, you know what, I've been feeling like this for ages. I hate this place where we work. Let's get out of here. And they're like, what are you going to do? I don't know. I'm going to find something. What are you going to do?
I'm going to follow what you do.
Well, I'm a leader because now I've got a follower.
Kate says, my husband wants to know if you got your Aston Martin. No.
No, we didn't get the Aston
We'd rather
Martin.
have a boat with that money.
We'd rather put the money in the boat. The guy said to us, he said, do you know this thing drives like a motorbike? It's like a motorbike on rails.
And I had no desire to drive a
on
motorbike.
4 wheels. Yeah.
Anyway, it looks pretty.
Anyway.
It was good for a video.
So as you focus on what you want, obviously go after it. Others that share the same values are going to follow you because they're going to have something in common. And the third road is perceived a threat to those that are in the herd.
Yeah.
And it isn't considered an option. So many people will not even want to go down that path. They won't want to take that option. You know, it's like anything in our industry and in our business. We say, well, if it's so good, why isn't everyone doing it? Well, it takes all kinds to make up the world, right?
Yeah.
And some people are just happy being a worker bee. Well, they're happy being a worker bee. They're happy working for other people and going to work, getting paid, going home and doing it all over again the same day, the next day. And that's what they want to do. And they're happy to do that. And that's great. You know, but it does take the opportunity to want to create that change and that belief system in yourself to go, you know what? I want to take the third road.
Yeah.
I want to know for myself. I want to be on purpose and I want to go after it. So in the midst of a herd game, we can choose to play either role. And the herd is a game. It's a game inside the herd. So we can choose to play either role. We can either stay in the herd or we can choose to actually go after what we want. A Melbourne number. All right. And now you can choose to be on neither side and just set out to create your own creation and operate by your own rules. All right. So you can do that. You can choose to don't align with anyone else, create your own creation and go after it and operate on your own rules and do more of what works and less
Of what doesn't.
of what doesn't. Now that's a really cool saying. I love that saying. Do more of what works
And less
of what doesn't.
A cool saying David said before. He said, impossible says I'm possible.
Yes, I've familiar with that one. It's I am and then a dash and then possible. It's just like, there's a lot of words like that. It's like, you know, disease is dis-ease, right? Deserve, same thing. D, and then serve. So there's lots of words, but impossible is a good one as well. So nothing's impossible, right? I'm possible. You've got to have that strong belief. So I love that quote to finish. So do more of what works and less of what doesn't. So think of that as you're going through your day. Ask yourself, am I part of a herd? Am I escaping the herd? Am I doing what it takes to get out of the herd? What can I be doing to get out of the herd, to release myself? Don't be a crab in a bucket. Don't be a cow in a paddock.
Don't be a crab at all.
Don't be a sheep in a paddock in New Zealand. Don't be part of the sheep, right? Don't be part of the herd. You've got to take a stand. And I've done that all the way in my life with careers that I've gone into, and I've always taken a stand. And it's one thing I've always said to my kids, Lee, is that I've always got your back. Mm-hmm. And if I believe that something is not right, then I will take a stand and back you 100%. Mm-hmm. And that's important, right? So it's taking a stand. I sent my son to a Catholic school. I don't believe in some of the things that they do, and I voice that to him. He'll have a whinge to me about something, and I'm saying, well, that's ridiculous. I don't know why they're doing that. And if they've got a problem, tell them and come and talk to me, and I'll take a stand for you, because I think it's ridiculous. We can't live in the old school thinking. We've got to progress with society.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you've got to take a stand. So
I need to take a stand because we need to wrap because we have a leadership call today.
We do. We've got a leadership call in about 4 minutes. So we're going to love you and leave you this evening. But Thank you for joining us and talking about examining the herd and the people that are in the herd and making a decision to get out of the herd. And that path to get out of the herd is called Know for Yourself. Right? So,
and we'll see you in June next week.
Something's on next week. No,
June.
we won't. No, we're not doing Facebook Live next week.
Oh, we're not next week.
We're not doing one next week.
We've got something else on.
We've got something else on next week, which will be launched tomorrow for our company. So if you work alongside of us, you'll learn all about that tomorrow.
We'll see you in the second week of June.
Yeah, so we'll be back in 2 weeks for our Facebook Lives. And we'll look forward to catching you there. But thank you for joining us this evening. Have a wonderful evening wherever you are. And that's bye from us.
See you later.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.